watching Eswatini TV, Sibuko Semaswati.
Ehlelweni Temidlalo lapho ke sikhulumisa khona tindzaba temidlalo letendekako lapha ekhaya sibuke nje ukuthi ngabe kuhamba kanjani. And of course we know ukuthi kulamalanga temidlalo ke timisiwe, there is nothing much that is happening, so siyazama ke kubha leto tindzaba lesingatitfola sikulethele lapho uhlele ekhaya mbukele, because temidlalo atidlalwa ngema weekend kuphela, kuyenteka kunema timfinqumbi letendekako ekuwema sports lesingakhuluma ngato. That's why we say let's keep going. Even nyalo lo kuthiwa temidlalo timile kepha will always find a way ukuthi and find something lesikhona ukuthi sikhulume ngako lapha ehlelweni. Namhla ke ehlelweni sikhulumisa begaluva pro golfers lesinabo la even sabe sikhuluma nabo nje sive ukuthi ngabe lockdown, and of course sitabe sikhulumisana na Jamie Pennington lo seningizimu Africa. We're gonna just pick up from him ukuthi ngabe kuhamba kanjani khona eSouth Africa njalo kuyati ukuthi khona imidlalo iyaqhubeka. And ke la ekhaya sinayo Raymond lesitabe sikhulumisana naye, Raymond Mathonse sitabe sikhulumisana naye la kuva ukuthi ezema local golfers khona kuhamba kanjani. Estudio kepha ke ngina Linda Master Dlamini lesitabe si touch base naye kuletinye talendzaba lesikhulumisa nato, kanti ke bo Jamie Pennington naye Raymond sitabe sibathatha ngaye Zoom lesivele sinabo emalenini. But first thing first, I'll have to welcome Linda Master Dlamini to the show. Angumukele Master.
Ngiyabonga Phathiswa, ngiyabonga ukumukeleka ngivusile imali yeliviyos ekhaya on a rainy Monday evening. Ingosi sibusisa ngemvula.
We've been getting a lot lately.
Yeah, ngicabanga ukuthi nakuya lokho kwenteka somiso sabakhona, ngicabanga sekubuya lokho Phathiswa inhlanhla
7 years of inankoza sivuno lesimatima. Kepha ke Master, it's so sad ukuthi every now and then when you come to the show kunama bad news. Somebody has lost his life or her life. And of course, as she nje sikhulumisa igolf kakhona namuhla, and of course kule sivile ukuthi the past few days khona laba shile khona laba khona eGalvin boy Simon Motha kanye na Victor Lima lesebashile kulomdlalo. And I think it's the first time active sport person ashiya emhlabeni because of COVID.
Yeah, Phathiswa ngicabanga ukuthi vele tindzaba leto letingasiko mnanzi. Ngiyaye ngithi ke mina akusiko mnanzi because kuhamba komuntu vela kuzake sekube mnanzi. Kusilahlekelwa ngema golfers Simon Motha lebeka dlala kakhulu kaManzini. Siyakhumbula nje nasihamba siyo profile yona eManzini Golf Club. Beka khona nayadlala after kubuye ku-COVID, after le break ye-COVID. Victor Lima naye bekadlala ngala eMbabane, bekakhona ngala eMbabane. So ngicabanga ukuthi leto vele kuyo yonke nje abantu labathanza umdlalo wegaluva singasho sithi emndenini yabo sithi madudu alehlanga lolungehlanga ngoba ingosi nayiphile ingosi iphinze ithathe lokungekwayo.
Let's may their soul rest in peace, and sikhalele nemndeni yabo ke bona abathanzi begaluva nabo bonke ke labo labadlala igaluva sithi nje siyabalilela kakhulu. Siyita ukuchubeka nalohlelo ke Master, sengivele nginaye Jamie Pennington naye Raymond Mathonse lesivele sinabo lapha kuzomle sta crossover to bona sikhulumisane nabo kuva ukuthi kuhamba kanjani. Ngidawucala ngawe Jamie, let me first welcome you to the show and give you this opportunity to greet the viewers at home.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Phathiswa. Evening, viewers. Good evening, Master, and to Raymond. I hope everyone is staying safe and finds the show well.
Mathonse, asikuvusele sinike ithuba ukuthi uvusele nababukele emakhaya.
Siyanivusela nonke emakhaya. Good evening to everyone out there. Let's hope everyone is staying safe and trying to stay away from COVID-19.
First, I'll start with you, Raymond. You're one of the pros in the country. During this difficult period, how has it been? You know, the uncertainty of Emma Sports, how has it been for you as pros?
For local pros, it's really been very difficult. it just compounds the problems that we have really of not playing enough. So ESRIC had come in to give us a bit of sponsorship, so we could go out there and play, but manje, as it is, we can't even do that. So we've gone from having a little bit of a rhythm to basically zero. So it's not nice at all.
Kapha-ke Mathosi, even phambilini bekunako lokuthi bekuyini lama challenges lakhona even before COVID in terms of activities pro golfers bekakhona indlela yayi enough as pro kusinda shothi no we are playing enough golf for sima pro.
Kulawa sekhaya pros besingadlali angisho kanje until baka SRIC or ESRIC as they are known now. Base bayeda ke base basibona ngalokuncane ukuthi sikudlalele. So bese sanesa lawo ma tournaments lang6 nje ke lebe ba sponsorship. But it still isn't enough because we are hoping to at least play twice every month. Okay. So kwanyalo we are just stuck to maybe one tournament every month that we pay sponsorship, and then hopefully we'll have done enough to convince them ukuthi bane baqhubeke nasinenhlanhla ke bangete naleli carrot esidlalelayo kodwa kwanyalo igaluva ledlalwa ama professionals kangwane yincane kakhulu. Unfortunately lo kusho ukuthi nase sekufikela amanye amajala awephamba athole ukuthi was not prepared at all to compete now.
Okay. Jamie, let me go back to you. Since you turned pro, how has it been? How are you finding the pro life, Jamie? It's been some few years, I know, but how has it been for you?
It's been a steep learning curve. It's a journey that few take, and you have to rely on the people such as Raymond who have done it before you to learn from them and gain advice from them to better your career and to understand all the small things that come with playing professional golf. It's been an interesting time. There's been lots of up and downs, and some things I would have liked to have done a little bit better, and there's been other things that I feel have really helped me progress to where I am now. So it has been a very interesting journey. I've been extremely fortunate to have ESRIC come on board and really help me out in that journey. Something that wouldn't have been possible had I had to do it all by myself. So I'm extremely grateful to them for what they've done and for helping me take the next step in my career, which COVID took a little bit of that away in terms of our schedule and how many events we could play. But as of this afternoon, we got a new schedule, which is
okay.
exciting.
We'll get to that a bit later, Jamie. But what I wanted to hear from you was the decision you took from moving from Eswatini to uhambe uyodlala South Africa as a pro. How has it benefited you, and you happy with the decision you take so far in your career? You're moving to a new country, kumele adapted in Ngumbi. Kukhambela kanjani on that aspect?
Yeah, it's a scary thing to leave home and to leave your family and all your friends behind to pursue something, but with the facilities that are available here and the expertise in terms of coaching and people to really help you along your journey, as well as just the amount of tournaments. I think Raymond touched on it, and it's been something that we've been trying to build in the kingdom is getting more tournaments and getting more playing time. And it is really tricky to do that. And we're lucky now that the PGA is picking up and growing and getting to a stage where we can play, whether it be once a month and hopefully moving forward even more. But just having the opportunity here to play tournaments, to play against so many different golfers from all around the world is an opportunity that has to be taken. And in a way, it's kind of lucky because it's not too far from home, being only a couple of hours away. So it does provide you the chance to come back, but at the same time, it's a different country, it's a different life, and it is a sacrifice to leave home and all that you know there.
Ray, I'll go back to you. Guthi mhlambe wena yini lo wakwenda ukuthi uthathe le decision yokuthi no mina I'm just going to turn pro locally and try ukuthi ngidlale le sport la ekhaya. I know ukuthi the opportunities are tempting ukuthi uhambe ufune nawe kuyodlala in even linema better facilities, but you committing locally. Yini lo informal that decision ukuthi no let me just stay home.
So labafika nyalo la Galvin engcenye abathi ukuthi lo mgwaqo la kahamba ngoJeni ngawuqala nga1999.
Okay.
So bengena ngakhona ngale eSouth Africa ngidlale khona, and I only stopped maybe 6 years ago. So, but at some point, you have to call a time on their career. Ngoba kufuna bese uyabona ukuthi akusendeki noma sesengile isikhathi bese uyabuya. Naso ubuya ke sozama ukuthi usite la khaya ukuthi asekumane kube nabanye nabo labatahamba bawutama engcenye batawu gcina bona bakhonile ukuthi baphumelele babe ngcono. Ngalamanye amagama lama opportunities, I prefer to think ukuthi the time longene ngaso in whatever you do utawenda lolo ukhona kuwena, and then like relay you hand over to the next generation. And so both Jamie are the next generation that are trying to make it work, hopefully with enough help from Swazi business, because angeke kwendeke kusuke South African business people basite Swati akubasithi nzawo nabo, because the mali basuke by spender, and that used to be my challenge. You see, if I got somebody else they are interested in sponsoring me, the moment they found out that I was Swazi, bekuba ukuthi fana next mali bayithatha bangipha, because akuna tax rebates akuna lutho. That is why abantu abafana nabo Jamie and nabo MJ bayakhula nabo is going to turn pro soon. Kufuna ukuthi basitakale from la khaya. Ngicabanga sinanobuhle okwayisho lenzaba ukuthi akakutholi lisito ngala ngasekhaya. Kulukhuni leka makhelwane vele usuke soyofuna lokuthi awuwa lapha etafuleni. Kanzi kube thina nanathi siyabafusha singafuni lokube sesesithi hayi bethu laba ngalesikhathi sebakhonile ukuthi baphumelele. Asicalele ukuthi bethu nyalo lokuba sazama kuphela. Step lesethwe Esric, see, it's very encouraging, and I hope ukuthi angeke bese usala yedwa la kuzameni, because umlo ofana na Jane, he needs sponsorship with a lot of things. It's not just kuyodlala. People think if I give you 5,000 per tournament, that is not even close to that. This man, I can tell you now, to play the tour for the whole year, he needs about 360,000. For a lot of people, that's a lot of money, but for golf, that's no money, especially for golf. So siyadinga lokuthi basitwe kuze batokhona ke lokuthi basibeke lapha emephini. Ngaphandle kwalowo nanaye utawugcina fana nami ukuthi ayingisengizamile sengibuyile ekhaya.
Kepha ke so udlalile wadlala even outside the country, but we decided to come back home. But having seen both sides, kambe kudlala ngale ubuye udlala ekhaya full time, yini lo nga-advise kona ukuthi kumele sikweni si-improve kuko as a country, going as far as to the Ministry of Sports, to Sport Council and to Golf Pro Association, yini union khona yini lo kumele si-concentrate kuko kakhulu to improve ema-pro golfers ethu ukuthi ngisho aya kuyongenela abo-PGA Tour asuke from the country, ngasho ukuthi based in South Africa, based in somewhere else, but based in Eswatini, Liswati, nalo kumele sikwende ukuze sifike at that stage.
Well, I've been lucky enough ukuthi everybody lo professional lomncane nyana uke wenza ngala ngakimi eTanzania. So from the player side, ufuna kube nalo uthanza lo mdlalo, kube nekutimisela. Utimisela ke nalo kulina lentu. Umuntu umkhanza busy lapha practice. utimisela ke lo liyashisa liyana ngaphandle kwana livuma kuphela ufuna phuma yelapha ayo practice. But from our side as a country sidinga ukuthi le development ibe i-development letawuba continuous. So it's one thing ukuthi i-company ikhiphe 100,000 ithi imfakele ama-juniors, but sidinga ukuthi lama-juniors niwafakele and then bese niyabona lo ngazi ukuthi ayikhona le game and ayayithanda le game atmisela kuyo bese sifocusa la kuwo ekuthenini sesiwenda njani ke wona nyaka. So lokubuhlungu ukuthi kude igolf letawuhlala la kangwane as a junior idevelope khona bese iyahamba yohlule ama-South Africans noma yohlule ama-Europeans. Ufuna asuke amncane ahamba yohlala ngakhona ngani adlale nalabantu atawuhlangana nabo as i-part of i-competition yakhe later. Otherwise lokutawendeka utawusimaka afika ahlangana nabo aba-hero worship emve ngazi ukuthi angisufunza ngabo la kuma-golf magazine. So utawuba ngazi ukuthi yena utoshayela bona tandla. So kufanele ukuthi uhulumende sesimkhombile thina ngoba sihlala golf sisinangana. For instance, kunobuhle, it was clear from the time she was even about 8-9 years old ukuthi this girl is going far. So once sabatfola lele bangibona babonakala ukuthi bawuthanda lo mdlalo batimisele ngalo mdlalo. Ufuna ke bese senda lama funds abe available ukuthi nababo t-shirt labatawukhona ukuthi banike ema facilities akhona ema golf courses, because ema golf courses also count for a lot. Ema golf courses nayimbi ayimkhiphi umdlalo lo wathi kudlala. Ufuna ama golf courses abe top notch. Nalo mdlalo utawudlala akhona computer equal. So we need to really commit in any of the sports. Siyayidinga le commitment yokuthi as a country naba siyaba develop. Ne-South Africa iba some sort of super squad. Bese yabakhetha ithi yabona ke lapho sesiba developer for the future of the game in the country. Nanathi sidinga lo. La kangwane we can only start them out and that's just about all we can.
Jamie, you can hear me, Raymond Glauc Shogo. You share the same sentiments on some of the things because when you're still part of the you're still in the process of getting to the top. Yes, you've turned pro, but you're still going to the top. And you share the same sentiments?
Yeah, I agree with everything Raymond said 100%. I think the future is always in the grassroots and in the juniors. And if you can expose them to competition golf, like they are in the rest of the world where it is very popular, it can only benefit them. And having access to tournaments and to facilities and coaching is kind of all you need. And after you have that, then it really comes down to the individual if they're willing to work hard and prepared to make sacrifices and take golf as a serious sport and something that they can work towards either doing professionally or just doing at a high level. So yeah, everything Raymond said is I share the same sentiments and I think that's where the real focus needs to be.
It's for you, since you turned pro, Mape lamanye tournaments lo wangenele in South Africa, more especially not the ones you came back to play locally. Big tournaments lo wangenele lo over ukuthi kube you were in Eswatini bonge kulithola lelithuba kudlela kulawo ma tournaments. What are some of those big tournaments? And probably you can mention some of the players you've played against who are well known in the sport.
Yeah, there's been quite a few. There's the Sunshine Tour around this time of year. Actually, in their summer swing, they usually have their biggest events where they attract bigger prize money and players from overseas. So some tournaments that I know Raymond has participated in as well, because I've been to them and watched them play, would be the Dimension Data tournament at Fan Court in the Cape. That every year is a big event that attracts players from all over the globe and is one of our flagship tournaments on the South African circuit and on the Sunshine Tour. The Cape Town Open has also become a very big tournament in the last couple of years. Every year it keeps getting bigger and better, which is encouraging to see. the Eye of Africa PGA Championship is one of the oldest championships in South Africa, which runs every year, and it's been on the Sunshine Tour schedule for well over 70 years now. So it's extremely established. There's a lot of history to these tournaments, and there's big players that come back for them. Guys like Brandon Stone, who finished yesterday second in Dubai on the European Tour. I played against him a couple weeks ago. There's a couple guys that have now reached high levels, being top 50 in the world golf rankings, like Eric van Rooyen and Christian Bezuidenhout, who were just playing where we were playing 2-3 years ago, and they took the necessary steps to keep climbing and get onto the bigger tours in the USA and in Europe, and that then comes with all sorts of things like climbing the world rankings and reaching that really elite level of professional golf.
The highest position logo itwala Jeremy since you turned pro in South Africa in the competitions they have Ibengba.
On the Sunshine, on the main tour, it would be 18th. I finished 18th a couple years ago at Zabula, and on the development tours, I've managed to win on some of the smaller tours, and also lost in a playoff in one of the Big Easy events. And then also with that, the two events that were at Royal Swazi, being the King's Cup, when they were Big Easy events, finishing second there 2 years in a row, was also part of our circuit that we play in South Africa. It just happens to be that the venue was Royal Swazi, but that was still part of the tour, and those two second place finishes there are certainly some of my proudest moments.
But last one for Champion, Jamie, how much have you learned from these top guys you're talking about that you're mentioning that you've competed with already? How much have you learned from them?
Huge amounts. I think you never stop learning, and you have to make it a priority to keep finding out small little pieces of information that can help you to get better. I've been fortunate enough to grow up with Raymond and spent a lot of time with him. He's helped me with physical lessons of coaching before, and as you heard him say, he's been in my shoes. He's been new onto the South African tour, and he understands the travel side of golf and all of that. So a huge amounts from Raymond. I've been practicing with Nobuhle up here, where as I said before, we practice at the same golf club. I actually saw it this afternoon. And we've tried to really push each other when we're back home for the holidays. We play quite a lot. And then, as you said, the big guys, it's small little things that add up over the period of a tournament, over months, and eventually over years, that small things that if you do every day correctly and every tournament correctly add up to big results and big changes. So it's really been something that I've tried to implement of late, is trying to learn as much as I can from every tournament, from everyone that I play with, and really trying to enforce that into my own game, and then work really hard on those things and see where the results take me.
Raymond, too political on your side, but I just want to find out from your point of view, the proposed sport policy. It's been solo kunywa from 2010, if I'm not mistaken, but up until today solo good and of course the ministry so they actually yes scope. How much do you think it will address some of the issues let's debana now ku lago sports the sport policies
I would, to be honest with you, I am normally just a player. I always tell these youngsters, you are either a player or you are training to be an administrator. So, having said that, I would say the policy angiyathi ngokuthi information nje kukhulunywa nabo but because kumcoka nalo ukuthi the industries big name players babe involved but don't understand because kumalula lento kuyibuka na uyibukela khashana kungakhoni ukuthi yathi nasingashintsha lapha nalapha nalapha kungasita ngakuphi because wena lento uke wayiphila. So ngeke ngabagceka kule bakwendile noma kule basakwenda, but nje like I said, I always try not to be part of that inside of things. I'd have no passion for it. Okay. I have a passion for developing other players. I have a passion for for the game, basically, and try and understand it more and teach it and whatnot. But in terms of admin, not because I'm not a political person, but it's simply because it just doesn't really catch interest a lot.
Now you do mention Guti your interest kakhulu ila ekudlaleni, and you've been dominating the local scenes in terms of nakoza kuma-pros. Bese-ke ukuthi makunale midlalo-ke boJembe bafike bafuna ukubangisa lapho. How are you keeping in shape all these years? How are you keeping competitive, Mr. Matas?
Well, I've been playing Ikaruva since 1994. First picked up a stick, a golf. Guys are going to kill me for calling it a golf stick. First picked up a golf club in 1990. So at some point, and I hope we get to that point quicker than I did, you end up just knowing who you are and you know what you can do. So kuphose kufana nemuntu loseyasebenze umsebenzi munye for a long time, ugcina sekati hle akwatiko akwati nale angakwati. So noma singahlala kuphele 6 months ngihle ngidlala nje just to keep in shape, but when it's time to compete, then bese soyakhona kushintsha ufake le gear le compete. So you are able to relax nakude the competition, bese ke soyakhona ukuthi hayi nase compete so nyusa solid. And I just have to arrange Nababwaje because keep him in South Africa so I can keep dominating Ghana.
Already Jembe wasafuni compete nawe locally, but ukhuluma ukuthi Raymond washeshe wathi discover ukuthi ungubani and yini la kangakwenda, and uthi ufisa ukuthi ufike at that stage earlier than him. Have you reached that stage? But before you answer me, Jembe, we're going to take a quick break. Lapho khona take a commercial break. Masibuya siqhubeka nalelo. You stay tuned. Ningabaleki sita khona kubuya sikhulumisane sita qhubeka lapho sigcine khona. Master, sisakhuluma nabo boJembe sangabaleki basekhona. We're picking a lot of things.
Yeah.
In terms of, yes, Mr. Matonsi, his knowledge. Itshela ukuthi if bekangasimaka sekata ubona ukuthi utawuyekela administrative anga contribute a lot, but it's a good education lapho. But then you have to appreciate people abayadiko iro labangayidlala nokusiba batawugcina.
I think having played the sport for over 26 years now, he's a legend. And nawubuka cishe emagolfers nje obashilo ukuthi most of them baphumela esandleni sakhe. Ngicabanga ukuthi into lenhle leyo, there's a lot lesingakufunza kuye yena Mr. Matonsi nakubo boJembe because nabo sebadlala ngaphandle kwelive.
Yeah, we're going to take that commercial break. Masibuya siqhubeka nalehlelo.
There's so much to learn and see in the kingdom of Eswatini. Sifuna futhi sikhuthaza kona ukuthi nawe wathi live lapho kabanzi nalokuthi lokwendekako lapha evenini la kaNgwane. Namambala uyabona mbukeli ukuthi indalo is a beautiful thing. Umkhulu baNkulunkulu kuyabonakala ngendalo.
Better Health, Better Life. It's another season on your favorite program, Better Health, Better Life, here on Eswatini TV.
Ayinibingelele kunebukele babukele emakhaya kulolu hlelo i-Better Health, Better Life. Lona thulula hlelo ngunokuphila masangana.
It's all about our health, our better health today, and our better life tomorrow. In the midst of this global pandemic coronavirus, Better Health, Better Life brings you closer to your health professionals.
Ifake emlonyeni wakhe nangabe nje ngidla into legcwele amafutha lento ngidla
So siyakhuthaza ukuthi lala abahlala nalala banashukela abafunde nabo ngaloshukela.
Watch out for another fresh season of Better Health, Better Life on Eswatini TV. It's getting bigger and better every season. This season with COVID-19 is a must to watch for everyone in every home. Better Health, Better Life, your gateway to a healthy living.
Mbukele siqhubeka nalo lihlelo lapho khona sikhulumisana na Jamie Pennington kanye na Raymond Mathonsi ma-pro golfers ethu lapha ekhaya sisakhulumisa nje indzaba liphathelene nako kuba i-pro golf nokuthi kuhamba kanjani kepha ke angimukele bona futhi wena ma-guest ethu lesolo sinawo lana. Gentlemen, I have Linda Master-Dlamini who's next to me uthi unembuto for you guys. One of you ukuthi tawuva ukuthi ufuna ku vaccine.
James, I think this one is for both you guys. I'm happy you're talking about proper development structures, but there's this pandemic. How much of an impact or effect will it leave or will it have for the growth of the sports, more especially for the wannabes who are still trying to turn pros?
You go first, Jimmy.
I think it's made everything more difficult. I think from our standpoint with our PGA, we were growing and getting better every month, and then COVID took that away. So it seems like there's been a lot of forward progress that COVID has had to break up. But I hope that when things do go back to a sense of normal and that we can move on from the pandemic, that we can pick up certain structures that we had put in place, and try and use the experience that we had before to grow them. I think in our case, in a golf case, I think we're a lucky sport during this COVID time, because it is easy for us to social distance on the golf course. You don't have to stand close to each other. You're not sharing the same clubs or the same golf ball. So I think from that standpoint, golf has been lucky that it's probably one of the safer sporting activities to do. But having said that, there's still risks that come with it, and we have to respect all government's rules. So I think it's going to be tough. I think there's going to be a lot of frustration, because there has been this development and this momentum that we had built that now has come to a halt because of the risks associated with COVID. But I do hope that the administration in charge and the people that were volunteering their time and efforts to get the development going, both of our PGA and of the junior PGA, pick up where they left off and use the experience gained from before. But I think it'll take a little bit of time. But I do hope that the movement forward that we've made won't be lost because of the pandemic.
Mr. Matonsi, wena ucabanga ukuthi singabuya kanjani ku recover kule sikhathi lesilahlekile, more especially my young golfers?
Good isikhathi lesilahlekile. Lokho kwendekako kwendeka ngesikhathi okufanele kwendeke ngaso. So what I'm trying to say is golf is all about commitment. So lo funa kudlala, lona interest yekufuna kudlala, afune ukuthi misela. It will only take at most a month to get back to 11 lobo ukuyo. Yebo kona bekungaba mnandi sisiqhubeke, but ke kude lo ngaboni ukuthi kubi kuyafika. Ngiko ngathi yami approach ithi singakukhaleli kakhulu lo kungasimcoka, ngoba nyalo lempilo imcoka kunako konke. So ku recover start recover, and at some point sitawukhohlwa nekuthi kwenteka into lefana nale. So ngicabanga sinyalo we just need to concentrate on ukuthi sizame ukuthi nakelela sinakane sodwana njengaloko asho beJamie. Yebo kona bese sesidala vele sesibona nathi ukuthi hayi cha sekuya ngakhona sekuyalunga, but ke ungeke ukhalele lokho over impilo tebantu. Yona igaluva ikahle ngalokuthi ayilaleli muntu, nawe ishaya iphumbhekele, nawe nawe ushaya yakho iphumbhekele, so sibonana le green siphinde sehlukane futhi nasifike ethini. So kumalula lokhu kwenta labo social distancing and what not. But nje liqiniso liphelele lithi lokhu umcoka kakhulu nyalo impilo. Ngingenase si right futhi isikhathi utase sowuphinze uyayivula uhulumende ukuthi majase ningabuyela ke niyodlala bese siyabuyela futhi. Angicabanga ukuthi ngeke kuphela inyanga lethine ngisifuna sekuthi nje lokusikhalisa ukuthi nekuthi hey sasi siyabuyela, uthole ukuthi ema sponsors sekede le mali. Ngoba phela le mali lokhu umnotho nje ushona phansi, so imali ekudlalelwa ingeke awugcina sekubo. But inzabe ekukhalela kudlala ukudlala sitawudlala abangani kwanyala sesinakelelane sinake ukuthi sizame ukuthi sibuye sonke sisephelele.
Bengifunake ukuthi ke Raymond, njenga someone lo sebenze kakhulu nelama youngsters, that's actually you mentioned ukuthi usebenzile nabo Jamie bo Avid, all this coming up pros labathina pro nyalo usebenzile nabo since uqale usebenze nayo lama youngsters. What are some of the habits lo wasabelako nyalo lokubahleli kulesikhathi labasihleli yini lo ungeva ukuthi sebayakwenda or abasakwenda, the bad habits of the sport or the good things laba ngakhanda ukuthi sebayidrophile at this time?
Okay, sport, speaking as somebody lo iphilile lempilo ye sport consumes you. If you have the passion, it consumes you. So I can tell you now, what's nangje my holidays nagala khaya, I would either see him golf course or I would see him on the driving range. So I see ukuthi ufuna kwetelwa uyathi So ngicabanga ukuthi labo le sport sisenhlitiyweni yabo kakhulu lama youngsters ngeke sistruggle nabo. Umuntu ongamane ustruggle ngaye ngilokho anza ukuthi bekadlala nje ukuthi they are whiling away time, but these young pro wanna be bayathi ukuthi nangabe there is a gap, they then go after my weaknesses in their games and try and fine tune down my weaknesses and make them into my strong points. So it actually gives you a advantage because you can go and work lapha ungabonwa ngumuntu usinabuya uqhamuke so change. So I would say instead of it being a disadvantage, we advantage ngoba kukunika lethuba lekuthi usebenze. Sekuthi nje naso usebenze kakhulu solungakhona computer bese akusabi mnanzi, but ke ngicabanga ukuthi yeah lalaba bafuna kudlala labatimisele bafuna kuyenda kube impilo yabo lento. They are actually appreciating because they can go out and work on their games a bit more.
Jamie, you the latest to 10 Pro in terms of Gulama Juniors Level Solo Swabuka coming up, Solo Eta Sports U10 Pro. What advice would you give to the other coming pros letako bo Avi bo MJ labetako ungathini kubo?
I think that nothing will ever beat hard work, no matter what you do in life. And we're lucky in a game like golf that you can practice by yourself. You don't need anyone else. You don't need all you need are your golf clubs and a place to practice. So I think above all else, work as hard as you can. And Raymond's right; it consumes you. It takes up your whole day. And it is, if you pursue it at a high level, it's a full-time job. It's you're out there when there's light in the morning and you come back when it's dark. And that's the hard work that it takes to get there. I think you need to be prepared to work hard and to sacrifice certain things, to forgo parties and stuff like that, to really prepare for tournaments. I think you need to seek advice of good players. MJ and I, Raymond will know, when we were growing up, and we still do, we used to ask him 100 questions a day about how do you do this and how do you do that, and if you're here, what do you think, and what's the best way to go about it. And I think sometimes Raymond would get tired of us because we just ask questions and ask questions and ask, but it came from a place of we just wanted to learn, because by learning we would get better. And it's that consumption of the game, and if you can match that, the passion of it and the drive to want to be as good as you can be with the hard work, and self-belief, find role models, play with people that are better than you, and ask them questions. If you can mix all of those things together, then it's just about taking your opportunities and seeing where you can go.
In South Africa, how's your calendar year looking like?
Good. It's exciting. We just got this afternoon our schedule. They've been moving it around because of the pandemic. There was supposed to be a tournament in Zambia that's been postponed. Luckily, it hasn't been cancelled. But the schedule came out this afternoon, and it looks to be very, very promising. We have 4 events throughout March. So every week in March, there'll be an event, all in Johannesburg, and then the travel will start to other places in South Africa, and then after that, hopefully to places around Africa, such as Zambia and Zimbabwe. So the schedule came out this afternoon, and it is promising. And personally, I'm very excited by the schedule. A lot of the golf courses that we're going to play are courses that I've had good success on before and know well. So it's been a positive afternoon from the standpoint of the schedule, and everything will start up again in the beginning of March.
Mr. Raymond, locally, what are we looking forward to in terms of pro golf?
Nangikhumbula kahle SRIC ugcinana 2 tournaments lebeka said Nangikhumbula kahle bekune tournament befanele bekhona on the 29th. Kwabe betafika kahle ngoba nje bekade abadlali eSouth Africa. But nje and then I think we see the last one befike benga February. So ngetulu kwalo ke we were then hoping ukuthi SRIC or ESRIC is going to give us a bit more to play for, or even if it was the same, but lokuthi at least is connected. Kwanyalo kusesemnyama emehlweni ngoba last year Kings Cup yacancelwa. We had a tournament lenye where FNB, First National Bank, had actually besikhulume nabo sivene kahle sisebenzisana kahle ekufuna kube ne tournament enkonyeni le Under the Sunshine Tour, but it was going to be more about my locals than actually my South Africans. So we lost out a lot there because the MD was very passionate about helping Eswatini with his team, with his team yakhe lebekasebenza. Eswatini should at least give them the best chance to show up and show what they could do. Wakhanza ukuthi COVID-19 happened. So we are just hoping ukuthi naleyo mali abakayidli leka First National Bank baseyibekile. Stokhona ukuthi simane sisonzele ku Kings Cup ke nakhona siyethemba ukuthi kutawuhamba kuhambe kwabeka embili amaswati. Mina nje ke isifiso sami bekungibona lokuthi la bafana labasebancane la bede batoyithatha etandleni lemali ibe inengana lakithi khona batokhona lokuthi bakhona kuyodlala ngayo ngoba nangabe ke bahlulwa ngithi awusho ukuthi bayapi nabe but ke siyafuna lokuthi basehlule batokhona lokuyale nabo bane confidence. So hopefully sitayithola the help that we need as a professional golf in Swaziland, because our office is now on point. We have good people in there, and they are more than willing to serve the organization. So sonke simenge move. Sifuna kuvumela isikhathi fika umjobo kuphela.
Siyabonga kakhulu Mr. Raymond for your time lo Sipho. Si Jimmy, thanks nakuwe lapho sibonga ukuthi ube nathi for the half hour, an hour, almost an hour esadahleli nawe lana. It's been a pleasure from us to both of you guys. Sibonga kakhulu.
Siyabonga team.
Master, we're just gonna wrap up a bit from Galvin. It's gonna be easy for golf to resume play locally. I don't see the problems because it's a non-contact sport at its finest. There is no point in time like ubathenga khona ukuthi bazobathenga.
Yeah, I'm happy ukuthi Mr. Matron's Raymond uthathe kancane indaba ukuthi eGalvin bangayidzinga inyanga kuphela bafuna bazama lokurecover. I'm happy ngaloko. Le ngicabanga ukuthi njengoba naye asho sekangitrila ama sporting counseling wevile baseGalvin uyasho Mr. Raymond ibasketball yasho i tennis yasho bathi lokumcoka kakhulu ngiletimbilo tebantu lokumcoka nyalo ukuthi iphele iCovid bese sekuyabuyela ukuyadlala.
But eGalova master, it's one of the sporting court lengasho ukuthi their development structures ayathithela sekane netithelo letibonakalako. You're talking of Jamie Nyalo Seba ama pros, you're talking of MJ. They are going towards that direction, and most of these young players is babonile bakhula in the sport and now they are turning pro. Look, I think the other association abahambi ba eGalvin bobuta ukuthi emajani indangani indileni kwenda lokuhlukile.
Unfortunately la incumbi eMaswati, they are too proud kubuta kane kubuta kuyasitana kunangibuta nje tsephathiza umsebenzi uwenta njani akusilo lihlazo lokho ngifuna ukuva nami ngidawukhona ukuthi ngimixe letinto, but ku very rare ukuthi ungeva umuvamba ubuta ukuthi nini kule association yenu nenta njani lengicabanga ukuthi kuvele kudinga ukuthi sikukope, because even ema youngsters nyalo ladlala kahle manje ngakhulu la kaGalova in 3 or 4 years time but I dominate.
Sebakhona bo Jim sebakhona batawuthatha over from bona bo Raymond podium nje sitawukhanza i-top 3 kungilama youngsters la seka recently 10 pro, and we hoping for that sitaqhubekela embili master, and great conversation we had from both Jamie kanye naye Raymond. Sibonga kakhulu nakubo once again. Kepha-ke master, before we leave kona sesibalekele isikhathi, we had a good conversation bese kulikhona kuyikhatha because it was going so well. But touching base kulamanye ama-sporting court master, kunema-chain tournaments laqhubekako eCameroon bese kafike kumaseka ndlule kuma-quarter finals namhla sibone the 4 semi-finalists laphumile.
Tiyashukana ku-chain. I-tournament lena idlalwa ama-players ladlala ekhaya, ma-local players ladlala ekhaya. So vele tiyashukana kuma-quarter finals etimele kuma-semi-finals. Mali beyidlala ne-Congo iwinile. DRC Congo beyidlala ne-Cameroon, yawina i-Cameroon ma-host. Bese kuthi Morocco ma-favorites njengoba asho Thomas kuthi ma-favorites beyidlala neZambia. iZambia ila kuKosafa yakhala phasi iZambia. Unfortunately yadliwa ngiyo iMorocco 3-1. iGuinea beyidlala nayo iRwanda yawina ke iGuinea 1-0 kuRwanda, even though kuphuma ama-red card ke lapho beyishisa le game beyishisa, but nje ngicabanga ukuthi lama games asavele ngekushisa kakhulu.
Well, semi-finals are Wednesday, finals are Saturday.
Yes.
Moving forward, master sesixesha sona sikhathi the most watched league emhlabeni, the English Premier League, namuhla iyavala transfer window yabo, and signings we're talking about la ngisho ukuthi we can look out forward to player bani kuTimbani.
Yes, but as well, I'm play deadline. My transfer window January. Wakwasho ke Arsene Wenger ngalomnyaka kwathi akasifeni yale transfer window le, because my teams nabe bafuna kulungisa ngalungisa kule first window period le ndeka nga August September. So wabonile ke over the years as prove wrong ama January signings recently nje ku Bruno Fernandes Manchester United wasainwa nga January.
It's been voted the best January signing ever in the Premier League voting. So democracy will
because you still have your Virgil van Dijk ku Liverpool, you still have your Patrice Evra ku Manchester United, you still have your Aubameyang ku Arsenal, you still have your Nemanja Vidic, the best defender in EPL.
You mentioned them, but the votes came in at so me and you arguing right now, it's pointless, because these are things that says vele khulunywa ukuthi kuvoti kuphumile ama polls beyirana ngo BBC nami nje ngilifakile lami ivoti la ya ku Bruno
usendele pass parties.
No, but the impact, listen master, you're talking of a Manchester team they were struggling to the point of at some point in time we can't say couldn't get even in top 8, and wafika washintsha ema fortunes ala team, and the rest of the teams lamanye bawakhanza ukuthi over the years ayakhona nalo compete,
and what talking about
ufita in a system the 47
I've got nothing against Bruno Fernandes, but you are talking about someone lo ngakhona idlala kahle against the big 6, the traditional big 6. Usimqathanisa nabo Vidic, the first defender ukuthi win a player of the year. So
did he win that in his first season?
Yeah.
No, not in his first season. But what do you make of Arsenal signing a player on loan with no option to buy, with no obligation to buy, with no nothing, just a 6-month loan? Makaqeda lapho nimniki game time nini uyanishiya, so you cannot build Guinea as a team as big as Arsenal.
Ngicabanga ukuthi bekede ama plans akhe yena coach Arteta, manager Arteta ukuthi amgcine kule team. Ngicabanga nje ukuthi vele isikhathi bekede, but understand lamanye ama teams parties ukuthi iLiverpool isayine i-defender from Schalke eGermany. iSchalke idlala kabi ku Bundesliga. But anyways, that's a topic for Thursday.
Yeah, we're gonna get more on Thursday because kunenkomplete mfole ngifuna ukubuta dona kuloko lokusho. Kepha ke mbukeli siyabonga kakhulu producer wami sofuna kungishaya lapha ukuthi angimlaleli, so bathi awaiver terrible lapha, so sengibona nje vele italidrete emoyeni ukuthi I know kuyaphetha. Siyabonga kakhulu mbukeli ukuthi ubohleli nathi. Sibonga kakhulu kuye Jamie naye yena Raymond libe sinabo laba sikhulumisana nabo kuzo mayelana ne pro golf in the country kuva ukuthi Xiphi States. Siyabonga kakhulu nakubo, sibonga kakhulu nakuwe mbukeli lobohleli nathi. Themba ukuthi ulithokotele hlelo njalo kunathi sithokotele kuba nawe. My name is Patizwa Msibi. You best believe when you see it. Good night.